Hi, my name is Tiwari. I'm the Chief Operations Officer at Roundtable Education. I am kind of setting up the Shree L Tiwari School of Business Management here at the campus.
Hi, I'm Deepa Naik. I'm assistant professor here and I'm very passionate about the industry academia gap. And I'm hoping at our business school here we are able to do and take good steps towards bridging it.
My name is Pooja Garge and I am an assistant professor here. I have always loved to view the world from the sidelines, especially when in this world everyone is trying to be the loudest. I am doing my PhD from Jamnalal Bajaj Institute of Management Studies, especially from the perspective where an ancient wisdom meets AI in the future.
Hi, my name is Paras Joshi. I am the faculty here at Shree L Tiwari School of Business Management. I am pursuing my PhD from Alkesh Dinesh Modi Institute of Financial and Management Studies, University of Mumbai. My area of interest is influencer marketing.
Alright, hi, I'm Runal Mehta. I'm a faculty here at the School of Business Management. My forte is branding. With the growth of personal branding and branding being applicable to products and services both these days, that keeps me interested.
What was broken in education that made you start this college?
I think if I have to begin with, I think so. Everybody is right now chasing a very blinkered approach to what they're pursuing. So you talk about management, you talk about architecture, you talk about engineering. People are not understanding that it's not so much homogeneous. The world today, management has its own disciplines. Management can integrate into multiple fields and areas. Management is just not about profits. Today's era and time, everybody, whenever you go to a B school and you are listening to a case study or you're being taught in a classroom, I think everyone is just talking about how can you optimize or maximize this to increase your profits. I really think so that's not the way ahead.
Yeah, I think the way I see, as I said, there's a huge gap in which the academic institutes are moving towards, and as a society, I think where we should be. And I think there's a huge gap, and I think, as Utsav pointed out rightly, that we have to look at multidisciplinary options and really look at making education a strong pillar, not just for the business but also for the society. So I think we have to look at it from a multidisciplinary angle and also look at the way the whole environment is moving, especially when we're talking about a lot of things in technology and AI, and how do we really become responsible students, responsible managers, and responsible citizens.
For me, the current system of education has become obsolete. It's like we are following one size fits all approach, especially when there are so many trends and emerging challenges we are seeing around. We need to come up with solutions. It's like wearing someone else's clothes or watching something at a certain picture or something with someone else's lens or specs.
I agree with Pooja ma'am for this matter. Generally, we see the education system is it's more like semester pattern where students learn and then they forget. It's not like learning something and then actually implying or applying that in the real world. So yeah, when we talk about broken system, maybe students are just learning it to write and not to actually apply it.
I think I'll sum up with what everybody said. There's a big mismatch between what is taught in colleges and what the industry actually demands, and that's the whole purpose of us getting together here.
I think one big point to add on is the whole gap, which you are also very much interested in, is the industry academia gap. A lot of Western nations, if you see, not that they are great education examples, but if you look at them, the academia is at par with what the industry is asking. Sometimes it's also the industry chasing the academia. I think here we are kind of talking right now about how can the academia chase the industry. So what are we right now going towards? And with the national education policy coming into the picture, with whatever that's going around in the landscape of education, it's really the need of the hour that we start to rethink how are we approaching education.
Right.
Do you remember the exact moment this idea became real?
You want to say something about this?
All of us should have one answer. Him. His idea first.
I think me being part of the whole vision here is all thanks to Utsav right here. When we connected and he had the whole idea that The whole idea is to acknowledge the fact that there's a gap in the system and something needs to be done about it. So I feel it was more about walking the talk. Am I saying it right?
Right.
And that's what happened here. That's how I landed up in this particular scenario. I'm sure that's the scene with most of you all, and I see you guys want to add.
Yes.
Yes, I think I thought it was when met Utsav. We've been in conversation for some time, but when I really actually came to his office and sat down for discussions, I had no idea what I was really thinking about, or what I was, that I would be a part here. But I think the whole discussion, which went on for a long time, and I think Utsav vision is something that really caught on and really pivoted me in a very different direction, and I'm finding it very exciting, to what we are doing, and looking forward to a lot of interesting stuff that we are trying to build. And I think one thing that Parasa really mentioned is really going out to the real world and the field, and understanding. I think that is a very core part of Utsav's vision, and I think that is really very, very important.
See, for me, it was always the lived experience, of being in a classroom, teaching, meeting people, and seeing how the kind of world is operating into. Where are we foraying into? And for me, a larger, I would say the privilege for me was that I've worked with multiple institutions of multiple disciplines, engineering, architecture, law, and everything. What I realized, one thing is that, again, what is being taught, what is understood is way far different from what is perceived and implemented. I think at a student level as well. So it was this ongoing practice, ongoing thinking. How do we start to rethink or re-deliver what we kind of talk about or believe in? Yeah.
Okay. What belief about education right now do you strongly disagree?
Everything.
It's not very surprising coming from Runal sir. Yeah.
I detest everything about it.
For me, it was like everyone was following the status quo. Challenging the status quo is important in
Correct.
education.
I think for me it's the speed. I think the environment around is moving so fast, and at the academia I think we are moving very slowly, and I think that is something that I think really needs to change.
I think we all are coming from the same school of thought. We've been produced by the same factory
Yes.
of education that we
Yes.
kind of studied into, and now we've just come out of that. Everyone is now kind of, both are into hard, deep neck into their PhDs and research. Half of us are really into practice, and then we kind of understood, why not take the challenge and the ownership of what Pooja is saying, just questioning the status quo.
Do you think people here follow more about tags rather than actual studies or actual course?
See, I think so. While people do chase tags, people are chasing also at the same time. How do you challenge it is a very big question that you're asking. And especially at a management school where legacy is involved, ROI is the new trend that people kind of follow, and everybody's kind of chasing the placement aspect of it. Again, when I say the same thing, that at our B school, we are not looking at people who will just go and join a corporate or people who will just run behind a consulting gig. For us, it could be a larger thing than that. People maybe set up their own practices. People maybe, people contribute to advocacy. People contribute to policy. So there are a lot of avenues that people are not exposed to. And when I say people, I mean those students who are graduating out of their 12th standard and coming into undergrad. One thing is there that we need to start taking them as equal partners. And all of us, we do believe one part, that after 4 years or 3 years of their education, once they finish or graduate out of the college, they are part of our league. They're on the other side of the table. So you want to take them as an equal partner to when you're talking to them or delivering or teaching them.
If someone attends for 3 years but could only take away one thing from this college, what would that be?
I would say the experience of the college that we are planning, the way the school is going to operate is something I think is the USP of the school. So I think one thing they should take away from this institution is the experience that we are going to give them.
Yes. And I think your personal transformation, I think it would be transformational journey for you as a student, when you go through a different kind of pedagogy.
I think the ability to learn and think as Sushant Singh Rajput says, that whatever you learn, it is going to be obsolete in some ways. So you need to learn new things. So the ability to learn, that is the most crucial thing.
I think the ability to question or challenge the status quo that's out there, which students usually don't do, which ultimately leads to what my colleagues mentioned, the ability to think, transform, and obviously at the end of that, a great experience.
I think for me, when I have to say what would be your end goal, would be the idea that it's just not a stream or a river. It does not have any boundaries. You might not. You might want to open your horizons, broaden your horizons when you graduate with a degree in management. It's not that black and white. Things are grey, things are colorful, things are a spectrum, and let's not be bounded by the idea that this is all that I can do after doing management, or this is who all I can be maybe after doing management.
What's something outsiders would never understand about this place, or the people who are already running colleges would not understand about this place?
Then why the hell are we?
Not talking about placements.
Huh?
Right? Something like that. Right?
Yeah, we're not talking about placements. We're not talking about placements first of all. Very big
that's
thing.
a very long movie. Yeah, we're
Huh.
not talking about placements. Right?
We're not talking about placements. We're addressing each other on first name basis. We are treating students as co-partners in our learning. We are proposing solutions to problems that might come in their minds anytime they're in anywhere in the society. Why is market so unorganized? Why are bazaars so unorganized? What is the informality of the bazaars? Gig economy workers. Why do things work in a certain way for them? Anything. So the idea is be wild with your imagination and then propose solutions to those questions that you're asking. Just let them not be a rant on Instagram or a big question mark in your head. Take action on your questions.
Since we're just starting out, and so let's end with a very generic question. Where do you see this college in the next 5 years?
Too soon to say, actually. For me, it will be too soon to say. I think what we don't even know what we're doing in the next 4 months, except for planning, and then when the students come in, things are going to change again for them.
I think making a global footprint. I think that's maybe a good. Especially, I think the overall ecosystem of education is changing, and I think we have all the ammunition, I could say, to make global presence and a global footprint with the style and the thought process that we have behind this college.
As sir said, it's too soon to say anything, but one thing is for sure, that we will start by decolonizing the mindsets that people currently have.
That's a very good answer, actually.
Yeah.
I think we would be someone who will set example in the industry that not only corporates need to be studied, but to actually go in the market and look at the problems and then come back and have solutions. So maybe we set an example of, a smallest problem is a problem and it needs to be answered.
I think from 5 years from now, we will have created students or graduates who are out there on field building something very constructive that goes on to answer a lot of problems that exist today and makes individual lives easier, collectively or individual, I should say.